Time now 16 minutes to 8.
Breaker 19, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, Big Ben, come on? Yeah, 10-4, Big Ben, for sure. By golly.
Convoy, the 70s hit song, takes you back, doesn't it? C.W. McCall. It helped to start a fad, or at least to sustain a fad, perhaps more than a fad, for CB radio. Truckers talking to each other over CB radio, forming a convoy using their call signs. But it wasn't just truckers, and it still happens now. Geraint Lloyd is a presenter on BBC Radio Cymru, was an avid CB radio user in the 70s and 80s, and still are, Geraint, or not?
No, unfortunately. No. Good morning, Justin. How are you? No, but in those days, you got to remember, put it into context of what we got today. There was no internet, no mobile phones, no emails. Back in the 80s. And suddenly you had this little magic box which you could stick in your car. You were 17, 18, just passed your driving test, and you could, talk to people anywhere in the world. Really.
And it was illegal?
Well, it wasn't illegal to buy the sets. You could buy them, you could fit them. It was just illegal to use them. But the police at the time, they actually turned quite a blind eye to it, because quite often in those days, say there was a road accident, you'd have to run to the nearest house or run to the nearest telephone box to call the emergency services. Suddenly you could get a message across there and then, and it changed things a lot.
It was also anonymous, wasn't it? I mean, very similar in a way to some social media sites now. There was no need for anyone to know who you were.
Well, no, that was the thing, because it was sort of illegal, and it was, the mystery of it all. We all had handles, they were called, and I understand that this term is used on Twitter these days now. And we used to call, and you had to pick your handle very carefully, actually, because I was called Goldfinger. I had a gold escort at the time, and I think the film had just been on the telly. But we had excellent names, There was Goldfinger, there was Roadhog, there was Black Knight.
The thing is, Geraint, it is all very 70s, isn't it? I mean, all down to the escort. And yet, Ofcom's just had consultations on proposals to allow a wider range of frequency. I mean, it is still there, and people still care about it.
It's still used. We've got a huge following on the programme with the lorry drivers, and it's still used by lorry drivers, taxi drivers use it, but today, it's the nostalgia isn't there anymore. It was exciting at the time because you could, talk to people on the air. The only way the radio is the only place you could hear a voice on the air, but suddenly you could use the airways to talk to other people, and this mystery of not knowing who was on the other side was all, very exciting.
And also it's going to get easier, isn't it? I mean, I think there are going to be more frequencies, so...
More frequencies, but I don't know, maybe they've opened the gate after the horse has bolted here a bit, because...
You do wonder, don't you?
I'm not quite sure who's going to... Maybe companies, if they have more frequencies, it'll be a benefit for companies using our taxi services, but I can't see it coming back like it used to be.
Yeah. I suppose if you are a trucker, it is still completely free. I mean, once you got the radio, you're just talking on it, aren't you?
Yeah, when it was legalised in this country in 81, it died down, actually, because too many people started using it. And there was a licence fee at the time, but that was dropped later on, And it is free, and I know a few friends of mine. We still use it if we go off-roading.
And what's the furthest, then, that you can get on it? The longest range communication you can have?
Well, the little sets we used to get from America, they were all imported at the time. They were very limited, a few miles, but it all depended on the weather and where you were situated. I can remember sitting on mountainsides till the early hours of the morning, hoping somebody might be there. It used to be breaker for a copy, and there were all the codes to remember. There was 10-4 for OK, and 10-2, I'm receiving you well. And it was...
Oh, you bring it all back. You make it sound quite attractive.
Oh, it was exciting.
To a new generation. Geraint Lloyd, thanks.